Hey everybody, welcome to WASD 20. My name is Nate. This is D&D Short Swords, the series where I give you short, unedited, pointed, sharp little bits of advice and thoughts, musings for DMs and players alike. And today's kind of relates to world building, and I want to talk about propaganda. I'm just hanging out by the fire here, grading some U.S. history tests on this cold winter day, and I'm grading World War II tests, and German propaganda is a topic that my students had to write some essays on, kind of analyzing these propaganda pieces here, and it got me thinking about game worlds and propaganda that exists in game worlds. Are there, I guess the way that this probably would fit best in a game world is if you have a particularly strong empire. If you do have that sort of thing in your game world, chances are they're going to have some kind of propaganda, some kind of way to spread information that that gets a little gross sometimes, maybe. Propaganda in itself is not always gross. It's not always awful. It doesn't always make you feel dirty, but it often does. And what would that be in your game world? I'll give you some examples. So in the world of Dragongrin, there's a slogan, and maybe it's just a slogan. The slogan is, "Heroes not welcome here," or "Heroes aren't welcome here." It's a world where evil has won. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to resist. Just submit, right? So are there certain slogans in your game world? Or, is it a more advanced world where they even do have some images that are being mass produced? This would work obviously particularly well in a science fiction world where those sorts of images and messages are easily produced. And in a low fantasy setting, that might be kind of hard. But maybe there are town criers that are paid to promote certain messages. That's the way it often was. People were paid to promote certain messages in the medieval world. So in low fantasy settings, it still can work. Maybe there are woodcuts that are being printed with ink, paper, just on woodcuts, images showing what sorts of things do we see in propaganda. Well, we see certainly recruitment for war. Join us, right? Trying to make soldiers maybe feel guilty, or people feel guilty for not signing up and doing their part. You see this all over the place in real world propaganda. There's the British propaganda piece that's, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's got, the guy with the Union Jack on his belly, and he's kind of pointing and he says, "Where are you?" Right? Saying, basically, if you're not with us, what are you doing? Right? Of course, you've got Uncle Sam, "I want you," as well. You've got, oh man, I saw one that was, a woman in a Navy uniform, and I can't remember the exact slogan, but it was a World War II one. I think it was from the US, and it was basically saying, "Look, even this woman wants to join." Men, join up. Even this woman wants to join, right? And it was kind of, well, obviously really sexist and kind of gross, but yeah, it was a powerful image. So recruitment, that could be one thing. Are the powers that be trying to recruit more soldiers? What else? I guess it could be the idolization of a leader, right? Idealizing a leader. So this one right here shows Hitler. He is shown as a father figure, right? He's smiling. He is holding this child, and the children are looking up to him. He is someone who cares about the future of Germany and cares about our children, and he's really all of our father, right? So the idolization or idealization of a ruler is also a very common form of propaganda. And how could that work in your game world? What is, are there ways in which that message could be promoted? What else do we see in propaganda? I guess we see, the blame. This case, same thing here. We've got the Jew depicted as a spider ensnaring people, innocents, in its web, right? Really just gross propaganda that the Nazis were putting out there, pumping out this ideology of finding a scapegoat, right? Finding someone to blame for their problems. So are the empires in your game world, are there scapegoats? Is it racist? Is it classist, right? You can see communist propaganda blaming the bourgeoisie, right? The capitalists. Who is the scapegoat for the powers that be, or for those who are maybe on the rise in your game world? So anyway, hope this has been helpful, guys. I'd love to hear from you. What sorts of slogans does this get going in your mind that could exist in your game world? Are there certain slogans, or are there certain images and ideas that either the powers that be, the rulers, the empire, or perhaps a small rising power are trying to promote in your game world? What sorts of images, what sorts of slogans and ideas are being spread in your game world in the form of propaganda? I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. All right, everybody, take care. You'll see me again very soon.